won't support that. Time is money, well come and get it. For my supply, show me you're committed. You want it all from me consistently.
Hey, so you already know that I was laid off from my job about a week and a half ago, which means I am back on the job market. And I was like, I just don't want to sit down and be at my computer all day while I'm searching for a job. Like, that is not going to be the move for me moving forward. But I do know that I need to utilize certain companies when I'm looking for this new job. And if I don't want to be sitting at a computer all day, that means I'm going to have to using my phone more periodically because it's going to be on me all the time. So I was just thinking, like, let's talk about which job apps actually work and are worth putting on our phones to use when we're searching for a new job. Now, I get that it's like, why do you even need the apps? Even if you're not on the job market, having the apps on your phone is going to help just because you could be like some of my friends who are super curious of just like what's going on the market. And the only way they're going to do that is if they always keep certain notifications coming to their phone about what's happening. So that's just one reason. So you don't always have to be looking for a new gig like myself. You could just be interested in what the market is doing. Or you could be like a lot of people right now, especially millennials, Gen Z, some even baby boomers, Gen X, are thinking about switching careers. So if you even just kind of got that mindset, you probably are like myself, and you're going to have to put some apps on your phone to kind of be on the go and ready whenever notifications come through about what's happening on the market. So as you know, I've been a recruiter in the tech world for the last 5 years, and I absolutely love it. But certain apps that are better than others and that are worth actually putting on your phone while you're in the job market. And the first one is going to be LinkedIn. You already know that was going to probably be number one, and you probably already have it on your phone. But if you don't, just think about it like this. That app, LinkedIn, is not just for job searching, in my opinion. I love to utilize it, especially when I was recruiting, just as a networking system, because everybody has a LinkedIn. Every company has a LinkedIn. Anybody who is thinking about getting on the market has a LinkedIn. When you first come out of college, you have a LinkedIn. Like, everybody has a LinkedIn. I was even telling one of my best friends who owns a daycare how it would be a really great idea for her to put her business on LinkedIn. Even if she's not in the hiring phase right now, I think it's just a good presence. So LinkedIn is always going to be number one for me. One, as a recruiter. Two, as somebody who is on the job market. Just because I get more for my buck. It's worth the download. It's worth the megabytes, gigabytes on my phone because I'm going to be getting networking, get job postings. I'm also going to be seeing what's happening with different companies, what changes are being made. Like, press releases are always going to go there first. So you can never go wrong with downloading LinkedIn as your number one source for job searching. And then you have to think about it also because I like that they offer courses. And some companies are looking for that. They're looking for people who are actually putting in the work and doing courses and LinkedIn trainings and updating their profiles that way. It's an instant visual, and it could tell a story about you just by one glance. And that's a little trick that I'll tell you a lot of recruiters always do. They're going to run in your LinkedIn. If they can tell if you are a powerhouse candidate, they're going to reach out to you just because your profile looks amazing. So that's what I'm saying. LinkedIn has so many benefits. I'm an advocate for it. It helps. I have gotten a job through LinkedIn, just by saying and being open, honest, and true, and using my connections to network. So LinkedIn is number one. Now, my second one, number two, is Glassdoor. And the reason I smile about Glassdoor, because I think it's just like a little hidden secret out there that a lot of people don't use when you're job searching. Because the thing is, a lot of companies, they're not the best, right? But you don't know from the outside looking in. And I always go to Glassdoor because that is where you're going to get in-depth company reviews as well as the truth about their salary. So for me, I'm going to go over to Glassdoor for a company I never heard of, one I want them to learn more about, and I'm going to look and see what the reviews are saying. Because what most companies do is they'll send, like, to their new hires, they'll send a survey out to them from Glassdoor, and it can either be when they get new hires or even sometimes exit interviews, or sometimes when people just don't be on your job for like 6 months. If you were working there, you get the link to fill out the Glassdoor review. You could be anonymous with it. You may tell your department, but when I, as a job searcher, am looking for a job, Glassdoor is like my little, let me see what y'all are saying over there. Like, what is the company's values? How is the company holding themselves accountable to those values that they say that they have? What's the work-life balance? I see a lot of people say, my manager did XYZ, but in the interview phase, they weren't like this. Or they say that the company did really great before they got bought out by so-and-so, and now I don't like working here. They've lost their values and morals. Like, you just get all of the information that you really need in decision making when it comes to, do you want to work for that company? So number 2 for me is always going to be Glassdoor. Now, number 3 is Indeed. I know a lot of people use Indeed. Like I just said, I have a couple of friends who own businesses, and they use Indeed all the time when they have to get a new hire in. And I get it. I like Indeed. The thing with Indeed, and why I will say that it is worth putting on your phone as an app and having readily available for those job notifications when they come through, is because so many people use it. So many hiring companies use it. So many entrepreneurs use it. It is always going to be up to date. You never want to waste your time while you're looking for a job, or whether you're in a new career, with something that's not going to stay up to date on what's happening, what's in the market. And I will give Indeed that, because most people are going to use it. It is a great resource. The only downfall with Indeed is because so many people use it, your resume can kind of get lost in the pile, quote unquote. And that's just because so many people use it. You don't know what type of recruiters on the other end, or if it was a hiring manager on the other end, if they had that much time to really go through it. So I think for me, Indeed is definitely on my list, and it's definitely an app that I have on my phone. However, it's not my number 1, but it is going to be my number 3. Now, ZipRecruiter is up next for my number 4. And I like ZipRecruiter because they use a lot of AI tools. And when I was a recruiter, the cool thing about ZipRecruiter is that now, being on the other end of being on the job market, I know that when I upload my resume, they are matching me with what they recommend is best for me based on my resume, and it's all using AI. So some of those other apps, you may have to put in keywords to find something that, you know, aligns with your skills and assets to a company. But with ZipRecruiter, you don't have to do that. And for me, the most important thing too is sometimes you kind of can get discouraged when you see how many people have applied for the job already. Like, if the job had opened, I don't know, 30 days ago, and they have 2,000 applications, you can clearly see that in ZipRecruiter of how many people have applied already for their role. So you can either take the chance and put your name in the hat, or you could bypass it and look for another role that has not had that many applications to it yet, maybe just because it was just posted. But it's definitely worth putting on your phone and receiving those notifications when they come through. Now, this next one is more so just because I will always be thinking like a recruiter. And Career Builder app, that one is really good when I'm trying to get like a comprehensive job search with my experience, as well as it also has great benefits of resume building. So they'll give you tools on how to improve it. They give you the job alert, and they break down, or should I say, like, give more insight into what your application is missing. That's why I would definitely add Career Builder to my list as number 5. Now that the apps are on my phone and ready to go, I have to utilize and get the most out of them. And first things first, my profile has to stay updated at all times. And that includes my resume. It has to be updated with my skills as well as my latest experiences, and how that is going to make me stand out on the market. When I keep saying like stand out on the market, I'm really saying to recruiters. As a recruiter, I'm always thinking like that. So if I'm up to date, my profile is up to date, my resume is up to date, it's going to easily align and make the recruiter's job just more easier, to be honest, just because they can look at my resume and go, boom. Then they can go to click the link and go to my LinkedIn, boom, everything matches. They'll probably reach out to me more likely than somebody who's missing some pieces on their resume as well as their LinkedIn. Number 1 tip, keep your stuff up to date. And then you have job alerts. I am not a notification person. And I know I'm saying all this to say you need notifications on your phone. But if I'm going to be in the job market, I got to have the notifications on. And I technically don't like hearing all the ding, ding, ding. I just don't. I won't put my phone on silent because I like to hear the rings. Somebody calling me, I don't want to miss a call. But all that ding, ding, ding notifications, no, I don't. But in this time of being in job searching, the notifications are on. You hear me? All the time. On top of my profile being updated, I am expecting somebody to reach out to me. So I need to always be ready. So I'm going to turn on my notifications for each of those apps that I'm using to apply for jobs. And then networking. Network. Listen, I love networking. I would say I am an introverted, extroverted person. Sometimes I can just feel more sway to the other. But in the time of looking for a job, I am networking like it's nobody's business. And the beautiful thing that I am very proud of myself is that I did a lot of that work on the forefront while I was in the field, while I was working constantly. I already have started building relationships just because that's who I am. I love to have conversations and just talk to people and build something. So now I can go back into those conversations, tap people on the shoulder. Hey, this is my situation. This is where I am. And if they don't have something, they can always refer me to somebody else. And that's what 9 times out of 10 happens. I reached out to somebody the other day. They was like, hey, Andretta, I would love to, but I know you're not located in Tennessee, and we need somebody in Tennessee for this role, even though it's a remote role. So, but I do know somebody that is over yonder in another state, and I'm going to send your resume over to them and see if they can see what they have available, and possibly, you guys can connect and go from there. That's networking. That's all networking is. And so I don't have to do too much craziness. I don't have to go out. The only thing that I have to do in regards to networking is just try. And trying by reaching out. Usually I set a goal for myself, like at least 10 minimum applications a day, and then at least 10 outreaches a day, because I don't want to overwhelm myself, but I also want to make sure I'm putting in that effort, and that effort is adding up. So network, but network in a way that makes sense to you. Kind of back when I was saying of how you need to make sure your profile and resume up to date, the same is going to go with customizing your resume for certain roles. Now, for me, I am targeted of only looking into careers that I can continue as an experienced tech recruiter. However, if I need to tailor my resume to fit a job profile that looks like I could be kind of aligned for, but I may be missing some pieces on my resume that I have now, that's when I would need to go back into my resume and customize it so that it aligns with the job that I'm applying to. The one thing a lot of people think of and miss, and again, this is just coming from my recruiter brain, like you can do a job by reading the job responsibilities and duties, but the recruiter or the hiring manager doesn't see it because the only thing they're going off of is your resume. And they know what they want for the role. They know what type of person they want, and they would know what they want to see on your resume. So if you're missing any of those pieces, your resume just kind of goes into the rejected pile, basically. And it's not because you couldn't do the work. It's nothing about you. It's about the resume. So customize your resume if you're going to be applying for things that are outside of your norm, and then just customize it too to kind of just be on the up and up of what's going on with that company, because they may add something in their job description that you don't have on your resume. And the same is going to go for cover letters as well. I really hope that this conversation helped you like it helped me. It really feels good to just kind of talk this thing out, and you pick it up and listen to me go through my apps, and you taking the time to click and watch is everything to me. So thank you. I will say that if you have some advice that I missed, or another app that you think will probably be better than the top 5 that I just talked about, definitely let me know in the comments. If you've had any experience with getting a job through those apps, tell me what you did. I would love to know. And if you think this video was helpful, share it with somebody else who's on the job market and we're just trying to get it together. So I appreciate you for liking and watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
C4